What is going on? Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I'm your host, Mark Hendrickson. And if you're brand new to this podcast, what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life in the right direction, a direction that you're feeling good about. If you're not new to this podcast, thank you very much for returning and joining and supporting us today. Regardless of if you're brand new or if you have listened to this before, you are the reason that I do what I do. So thank you guys so much for all the support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Trying a different lighting style today. The lighting's a little bit lower. I would get mad at my producer, but that's me. And I am done getting mad at myself. So I don't know if you guys like it, if you're watching the video. If you can tell a difference, let me know if you like the difference. If you cannot tell, let's get on to the show. Hope your week is starting off well. Happy Monday, like I said. We are gearing up for the Christmas season. So if you celebrate Christmas, Merry fucking Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy whatever you do celebrate, if you celebrate anything. Big Christmas guy here, so I hope you're doing well. Anyways, I love Christmas. I love the way that it makes me feel. This entire season makes me excited and makes me happy. It makes me feel like loving people more. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I just get really amped up for Christmas time. Fall time seems to be my favorite season, although I do love summertime as well because I like the heat. So pretty much like every season other than spring, because it's just kind of rainy and cold here. But other than that, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Nearing the end of 75 hard here. Actually, by the time this airs, I think I'll be done 75 hard. So let's do a little recap of that. I can only speak to how far I am right now, and then we'll kind of chat about some of the takeaways because I always get different takeaways. This is my third time doing 75 hard, so kind of different takeaways every single time I've done it. But one of the cool things that happened this time around, it was actually pretty hectic. My schedule was pretty fucking all over the place because of moving, because of, that was pretty much one of the only monkey wrenches other than just having to fucking do so much work. With the way that my schedule is set up, which is a fucking great excuse. I love when people start that excuse like that. With the way that my schedule is set up, that just doesn't really work with the way that my schedule is set up. But the way that my schedule is set up, I start work at 7 a.m. Monday to Friday. And I'm working a job in Port Moody right now, which is a couple cities away. It takes me about an hour to drive to work, and then like a little bit over an hour to get back, which, again, that's not the worst commute in the world. I've definitely heard of people that have way worse commutes. If Zach from Plaid Jacket Philosophers listen to this, then I know when he was living out here in BC, his commute was fucking egregious. But it's pretty rough when you you're leaving work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you're getting to work. You're working till like 3:34, getting home at around 5. You got to fit in 2 workouts that are separated by about 3 hours. You got to do your reading, and then obviously I got to record podcast episodes. I got to edit podcast episodes. When I was moving, got to be fucking cleaning the old apartment, packing things up, getting ready to move, painting this place and prepping this place, and then cleaning that apartment and making sure I can get my damage deposit back. Like, there was just so much to do that literally there was a point where I was just waking up at 4 o'clock and then starting workouts, working out, and then working, and then going to sleep at like sometimes like 11:30, midnight, and then waking up at 4 the next day to do it all over again. And yeah, it was pretty rough for a while because I just wasn't getting sleep, and it had the potential to be pretty stressful. This time around, it was kind of weird because I started adopting, I don't know what the proper grammar is, but I started adopting/adapting just kind of by thinking like, fuck, if I don't complete it, I don't complete it, but I'm just going to take one step at a time and figure out how to do this task that I'm doing right now as quick as I possibly can and as efficiently as I possibly can, so I don't have to come back and do this again later. Just using my time as efficiently as possible. And there was a few hiccups here and there, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, if I got to go and do some cardio at night, by the time I finish everything else, then so be it. But we're going to get everything done. And that was basically the attitude that I had the entire time. And for example, today is, when I'm recording this, is day 65. And for example, today I slept in a little bit too late. I missed my alarm and I woke up at around like 5 o'clock. So it was a little bit too late to get my cardio in before work because I had to obviously make breakfast and get ready for work, to be out the door by around 6, warm the truck up and do a bunch of other things. But I just basically was telling myself like the entire day, like, okay, I'm not gonna fucking stress because stressing is gonna make the rest of my day fucking unenjoyable and hectic, and I'm gonna make matters worse for myself. I'm just gonna take this one step at a time. What do I have time to do in the morning? So that was in the morning. I got my reading done. It took me about like 15, 20 minutes, and then I just got ready for work and head to work. And then the universe took care of the rest. Like God or the universe or whatever you believe in took care of the rest. I ended up getting off work early, so I had the time to come home, squeak in a quick workout. Just went grocery shopping, set up the Christmas tree here, did a little bit of editing, and then sat down, record this podcast episode, and then I'm going to have to do my second workout after this, and then have some dinner. And I'm pretty much done after that. I've just been slamming water all day and taking care of the rest of the stuff, and then maybe go see my parents. So that is one of the biggest lessons that I took away from today is, and this entire experience with 75 Hard is, if you prioritize and you're disciplined to take care of every single little thing and just focus on the task at hand and it's so cliche to just say to be present, but to actually just focus on the task that you have to do right then and there, so that you don't have to come back later and be like, fuck, I kind of, messed this up and I have to come back and revisit this and do a little bit more work on this or do a little bit more work on that. And, heaven forbid, if you're distracted at work and you're in construction, you could definitely injure yourself or other people. There's tons of different takeaways from that, but just to be present and be like, okay, what I need to take care of is going to get taken care of because I'm confident in my abilities to stay disciplined. I'm not going to bed until all of this is done. I'm just going to focus on what I need to do right now, do it to the very best of my ability, take care of it, and then move on to the next thing. And at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I accomplished all these things. And it's just because I was present enough to stay focused on the task at hand. And not only that, but when you're being able to stay present on the task at hand, it allows you to actually get enjoyment out of the things you do. It allows you to actually, be mindful and happy and thankful for all the opportunities that you have. You're not just like, I was caught into this like little weird mind state while I was driving to work. I was like, man, I woke up late. Now I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to squeeze in 2 workouts. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. I was just thinking about all these different things that I could do. And then I remember saying to myself, like, dude, you're going to take care of it. It is what it is. You don't have a time machine. You can't go back in time and fix this morning. You can't go back and change anything. Just deal with it the way that it comes. Like, you're going to have to fucking just take care of business. And that's who you are. And you can do this. You got this. And I was kind of just telling myself this. And there's like, oh yeah, there's no stress. I can just take care of things as they come up and your day will just flow. And today was one of those days where it was like, yeah, I guess things just flowed well. And not every day is going to go like that. You're going to come across days where things go wrong. You're going to come across things like there's days that I've had where it's like, fuck, I just can't stop hitting speed bumps. There's things that you can't control all the time that are just going to come up and hold you up, whether it takes up more of your time, whether it takes up more of your energy, whether it takes up more of your patience, whether it takes up more of your money, whatever it could be. But just having faith and having mindfulness and just thinking, you know what? If I take care of things, if I take care of business, if I take care of people, then fucking people are going to take care of me. The universe will take care of me. And just having that faith and that good positive energy can carry you a long way. So that was kind of one of the biggest takeaways for me this round of 75 hard. And again, today was a huge reminder of that. Whereas, like, yeah, this was kind of my fault. I slept through my alarm. Again, a lot of people would just be like, fuck, this happened to me. I can't believe this happened to me. But it's like, no, there was precautions I could have taken. You know, I could have gone to bed a little bit earlier last night. I kept myself a little bit preoccupied while I was like, I stayed up late editing and kind of cleaning up a little bit here. And it's like, well, I could have been a little bit more disciplined last night. Just taking it on yourself of, you know, even if you can't imagine out of your wildest fucking dreams that the negative things that happened to you were not your fault. You know, even if you can't imagine, sorry, I think I said that wrong. If you can't imagine that things that happen to you that are negative are your fault, you can't even imagine that, just try to pretend that you could have had some sort of responsibility in what happened wrong, in the negative that happened to you. Because if what happened to you that was negative is completely outside of your control, that means there's nothing you can do in the future to make sure that it doesn't happen again, or to make sure that it doesn't happen in the same way or a similar way. You know, there's no empowerment behind it. Whereas if you think about it from the standpoint of, you know, maybe there was something that I did wrong, and not do it in a way of like kind of fake martyrdom or like, oh, woe is me, like I always mess things up, but to think of it as like, hey, I've got room for improvement, and this is the area that I can improve, and I have control over this situation. Then that's an empowering message to hear. It's empowering to think like, oh, I have actual control over this, and I can do things better next time, or I can just at least try to do things better or do things different, you know? Um, and of course, you know, I was talking last time about how, you know, Sundays are kind of like my pre-prep for Mondays to make sure that I start my week off properly. Think of this month as that entire thing for, you know, your next year. You know, December is the last month of the year. Obviously, if you've passed, you know, kindergarten, you understand that. Um, so think of this as kind of the warm up. You know, a lot of times people talk about, oh, like this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year. Like every year seems to be like a warm up for the next year. Think of this month right now as the preparation time for 2023 so that you can actually start this year off with momentum. You're not starting your fucking New Year's resolutions in January. You're starting them now in December, and you're getting ahead of these things. And so think about, you know, if you're not doing 75 hard, you know, even if you are doing 75 hard, actually, I'll take this route because this is a thought pattern that I was having today. I was on the phone with one of my buddies that's also doing 75 hard right now. He's about 10 days behind me. Started just a little bit after me. We were talking about how, you know, when you're focusing on doing 2 workouts a day, you're doing your reading, you've got all of your other things that going on in your life, whether you work a full-time job, whether you're self-employed, whether you got a kid, whether you've got other things to take care of. You know, think about, you know, how much time that could eat up of your life. You think about all the time that you're dedicating to doing this 75 hard program, and it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. You could think sometimes it could feel like life is taking over, or you're just losing too much time and you don't have enough time to focus on the other things in your life. One of the things that I'm doing right now to make sure that that doesn't happen to me in the future is I'm kind of devising a plan right now to focus on things that are important to me after I finish 75 hard for the next 100 days after I do that. So making a list for myself of things that I need to take care of, making a list for myself of, you know, actionable steps that I can take every single day for the next 100 days after I finish 75 hard, so that I can get my life in a better position than it is right now, in things that I want to excel in and things that I want to move further in my life. The things that I feel like sometimes right now are a little bit more difficult to focus on. And so getting ahead of, the year of 2023, it happens in December. Like, that's when you're going to have to fucking do it. Because if you start prepping in January and it takes you, okay, you sit down for a week, you sit down for 2 weeks, and you're thinking like, okay, this is what I need to do. You're planning, you're prepping, you're doing all this shit. Well, you've just lost 2 out of the 52 weeks of the year. So if you do this all in December, you think, okay, I've got 2 weeks left of this year. You plan out, okay, this is what I need to excel in. This is what I felt like I didn't do well enough in 2022. I feel like I could have done this, and this better. I feel like, I really fucked this area of my life up, or something negative happened to me over in this area of my life. Well, how can I impact that? How can I make that different? How can I make that better? Maybe it's not directly relatable. Maybe it's thinking about your self-confidence. Maybe it's thinking about, the way that you think about others, or the way that you treat others, the way you make money. It could be literally anything, but it could be directly impacting that, or it could be indirectly impacting that. You think about things, like I said, that when you think about things like confidence, if you're finishing this year off, and you're like, fuck, I really don't feel really great about myself because of, this area or this area, maybe you have to impact your life in a way that indirectly impacts that. Are you eating the right amount of food? Are you eating the right foods in general? Are you exercising properly? Are you fueling your mind properly? Are you fueling your body properly? Are you making yourself, in a better position to provide for yourself? All of these different areas of our lives can directly or indirectly contribute to things like self-esteem or confidence, or the way that we present ourselves to the world. And they also compound into each other as well. Because if you are eating properly, and you are exercising properly, and you are taking care of your body, then you're going to get that little boost of confidence. And maybe that's what helps you get, into the position where you're applying for a new job, you're applying for a new position, you're applying for a promotion. And then that's going to boost your confidence even more. And then because you're feeling more energized, you're feeling more, fit, you're feeling more confident, you're making more money, you're making money in a different area that makes you more happy or more fulfilled. You're getting all these different confidence boosts. You're having better relationships with your family members. You're having better relationships with your friends. Maybe then you go and speak to that person when you go out, and you start meeting somebody new. And then you've got a new partner. And then you've got all of these things compounding for you. And it all started with just treating yourself a little bit better. And so even if it's just the smallest fucking change in your life, think about what that could be right now. Because the time to plan for 2023 is 2022. I talked about it last week on the podcast when I said the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is today. So think about the things that you want to grow in your life. Think about the trees that you want to fucking grow in your garden. And think about the areas of your life that you want to grow in. And do that now, so that by the time 2023 rolls around, you hit the ground running. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, happy Monday. Start this week off with a bang, so you can start next fucking year off with a bang. Merry Christmas. I'm going to be saying that a lot this month. And that's pretty much it. So have a good week. I'll check in with you on Thursday. Much love and peace out, motherfuckers. I love you all, you beautiful humans.